Hi everybody, Eve Harow, Director of Tourism and Community Development for One Israel Fund, here in Nokdim today to learn about this beautiful community in Eastern Gush Etzion. So I'm here in Nokdim with Gabi Harow, who happens to be my nephew, but I'm not here with him because he's my nephew. I'm here with him because he is the Director of Resource Development, yes, at the Gush Etzion Foundation. And we work very closely together, One Israel Fund and Gush Etzion, to bring amazing projects to the area of Gush Etzion. A lot of security, a lot of parks, sports fields, things that we are super proud of. And I'm super proud of him. So this is an extra pleasure. So, Gabi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you? Welcome to Nokdim. It's amazing to have you here, and it's a pleasure to be able to show you the projects we've actually done together. So a lot of them were done during COVID, and it was all remote and by pictures, so welcome. First of all, I'll give you a little history of Nokdim. Nokdim was established in 1982 after two people that live in Tekoa were killed. The young couples of Tekoa decided they want to do something in their memory and to establish a new community. That community was actually not in Nokdim now, it was in Kfar Eldad today. They were there for 10 years in caravans, and some of them were even in tents until they were able to move to this part of what they call Nokdim, which means shepherds. Amos, there's a pasuk in Amos that, Amos from Nokdim and Tekoa. So we have Tekoa, and now we have Nokdim. I grew up in the Shomron. My parents made Aliyah from LA. My wife made Aliyah from Cleveland. I married the girl next door. And but when we got married, we knew that we were going to move to Yishuv, and we knew that we were going to move to Gush Etzion. That there's something very special about Gush Etzion. Besides my aunt living in Efrat, there's something about the people, the what they call the psifas of the type of people, the mosaic of people that live in Gush Etzion. There's an amazing story, the story of the New Age pioneer, the kibbutzim, Kfar Etzion, and we picked Nokdim because it's also a mixed community. We're able to grow up to raise our kids religious, but our neighbors are secular Jews. It's also a beautiful area, the desert. For me, driving home from work every day and getting to the entrance to the Yishuv and seeing the mountains, seeing Judean desert, even sometimes being able to see all the way to Jordan, something about the desert that calms you down. I get into the community and I already relax no matter how crazy my day is. I drive into Nokdim and everything just disappears. There's something beautiful about the desert and very calming, and Atar and I fell in love with it. And that's why we decided to move here.
I see that one of the things that you have done is put in some pools, some with fish. So how did that project come about?
The idea the Yishuv had a couple years ago was that we want to get people out of the so-called borders of the community. And we started doing a lot of projects that help the community go out towards the desert. You want to create what they call the Nokdim forest, where have shade and a beautiful green area, and you could see that it's all booming over there. The trees are growing beautifully. And then another idea was, let's build these little pools. They're what they call in Hebrew shichshuchiot. They're just so you can kind of dip your feet in. And ever since they've been built, the community's been out to the desert. People are coming in from all over Efrat and all over Gush Etzion, people coming in from the Shomron, people coming in from Yerushalayim. It's attracting a lot of people, and it's beautiful. You sit on there and you're just looking again to the desert and to the pools, and the whole idea was kind of just push everybody out, that there's no borders. Nokdim is part of the desert, and we're protecting our land this way by feet on the ground and showing our presence, and that's what's important.
So, you mentioned borders and limitations, and there's other limitations that people have sometimes, which is physical limitations. And one of the projects the One Israel Fund is involved with you, which we're so happy about, is a wheelchair, handicapped accessible park.
That's true. We are building a beautiful park now. Nokdim is all about having space and room for everybody. It doesn't matter, religious, secular, if you're special needs. During COVID, everybody knows things were crazy here, and we had an old broken down basketball court we couldn't use it, and we reached out to One Israel Fund, and within a couple of days we already had a project in the works, and I think it was done within a month. and it's been amazing. The court is amazing. Every day you come, you'll see their kids there from 4 o'clock in the afternoon till sometimes 10 o'clock at night, because there are lights there. There are kids playing there. There are adults. I think once a week there's an adults get over there, and they have a basketball game, and then it's an amazing project. It really took Nokdim to a new level. Really, it might be a small project, it might seem kind of silly, but just giving the kids that project during that time made a huge difference in our community.
So, given where we are and the political situation, the security situation, one of the things the One Israel Fund also contributed to was putting key cameras and key security elements around the pools and around places so that even when you want people to go out, they can feel safe in doing so. So what are the future plans for this community?
Well, first thing regarding security, the relationship with One Israel Fund has been amazing in the whole Gush Etzion area, not just Nokdim. As far as the future of Nokdim, well, Nokdim has been expanding rapidly in the past 5 years. But Nokdim isn't just Nokdim. Nokdim also includes Kfar Eldad and Stebar. Kfar Eldad just got approved today, 100 new units, and they're building another 300 units. So the whole area is just booming. It's expanding. They're going to be, the Moatzah thinks there's going to be over 6,000 residents in the Gush Nokdim area within the next 5 years.
Amazing.
And then that brings us to the whole idea of we're building new schools now. The Moatzah and the Yeshuv are building 3 new schools. We're building new shuls. We're building new mikvahs. You know, we're looking forward to all the amazing projects we can do together with One Israel Fund and for Gush Etzion and for Nokdim especially.
Because of my work as a tour guide, or more correctly, my passion for guiding, and also my work with One Israel Fund in getting to know the communities in Yehuda v'Shamron, I have the amazing privilege to also get to know and to look for some of the really special people who inhabit these communities and the stories that they bring and the work and the joy that they take in what they're doing here. So I'm now, and this is why I'm wearing a sweater, in the wine cellar of Jack Assayeg in Nokdim. And we're going to hear his story. And I have brought people here. I got to tell you, the wine is outrageous. And it's totally boutique. But now you know too. I'm a giver. But we're going to hear from him how he ended up here and how a hobby turned into a better hobby.
שלום איב, שמח לראות אותך שוב. אנחנו נמצאים פה בנוקדים, במרתף של היין שלנו. אנחנו עושים יין טבעי. אני התחלתי לעשות היין משנת 2006, אבל בכמויות מאוד קטנות של 100 בקבוקים בערך, משהו ביתי לגמרי. וכעבור כמה שנים החלטתי שאנחנו נגדל קצת ונעשה את היין קצת יותר מסחרי. אז זה התחיל כתחביב, אבל עכשיו זה יותר מקצועי, כמובן עשיית היין, אבל המקצוע שאני מתפרנס ממנו, אני עושה תכשיטים, משהו מגיל 17 בערך. אחרי הצבא אני הלכתי ללמוד באופן מקצועי. יש לנו חנות במושבה גרמנית בירושלים. כל מה שאני מייצר, אני מוכר שמה. שם משפחה שלי אסייג, מסתבר שכשבדקנו מה הקשר, מה זה אומר, הסתבר שזה היה צורף. וזה כנראה חזר באיזשהו גלגול אליי, כי אני עוסק במקצוע הזה של צורפות.
Where were you raised in Israel and how did you get to Nokdim?
אני גדלתי בירושלים, בשכונת קטמון. ההורים שלי עלו ממרוקו בשנת 64, אני נולדתי ב-68, אפשר לעשות את החשבון כמה אני היום. מבחינתי גדלתי בקטמון, באזור לא כל כך פשוט, כי קלטו את כל העולים לתוך שכונה מאוד צפופה, אבל מבחינתי זה היה המקום הנפלא ביותר לגדול בו, ממש, אני יכול להגיד אפילו גן עדן, זה היה בשבילי גן עדן. מעבר לקטמון, לצפיפות, איפה ששוכן היום קניון מלכה, זה היה שם שדה אחד גדול של עצי זית עתיקים, אחרי בית ספר זה מה שעשיתי, המקומות האלה, לעצי זית, לטבע, היה המון טבע באזור הזה. זהו, נוקדים מחזיר אותי לילדות. אני מאוד אוהב את המקום הזה, מחובר מאוד גם לאנשים וגם לטבע שיש פה, יש פה המון טבע. כל בוקר לקום ולראות את הנוף בראשית שיש פה, זה ממלא אותך לכל היום.
So in addition to bringing people here for wine tastings, you're also a chef, which I find fascinating. Something went on in the Moroccan kitchen. Like almost all the master chefs in Israel, or the really good chefs that I know, had a mother or a grandmother from Morocco who just taught awesome cooking. I don't know what it is that went on in Morocco specifically. Maybe you can answer that. But you also started now having small parties here because you are really an amazing chef. And people can have, like if it's a birthday party or I don't know, some kind of anniversary, and come here and you make whatever meal they want and serve the wine. And it's not a restaurant, it's just a beautiful, intimate location. Had you thought that you were going to be doing this when you started making the wine, or it just kind of flowed into that?
תודה על הקומפלימנטים קודם כל. אנחנו התחלנו לעשות פה כל מיני ערבים וטעימות, מעין סדנת יין קטנה, שאנשים יכולים לבוא לטעום את היין, אבל אני גם משלב את הקטע הקולינרי שלי. כמובן שספגתי מאמא את עניין הטעמים הטובים, אבל לא התחברתי כשהייתי ילד לאוכל הביתי, אלא אכלתי הרבה ג'אנק פוד, אבל עם הזמן אני למדתי להכיר תודה למה שאמא עשתה. אז אנחנו משלבים את היין עם ארוחות שאנחנו עושים, כמובן בניצוחי. זהו, זה הרעיון של המקום הזה. להגיע לפה, לטעום יין, אבל גם לשלב את זה עם ארוחה.
So fortunately, I'm not a jealous person because you really have to think about Jack's wife. He makes wine, he cooks, he creates beautiful jewelry, and he plays a few musical instruments. I mean, just a dream. But you can have part of that also and come and meet Jack and enjoy the wine and enjoy Nokdim.
תודה שבאתם, תודה שהגעתם.
In the few weeks since Josh Fleischer and I taped that video in Nokdim, the world has been busy. Mother Nature has moved us from winter into spring. I'm hearing the chirping of the birds. There's a cherry tree behind me and a bird's nest right next to it. It's an amazing time of year, just in time for Pesach, the time of freedom, the time of leaving bondage, but also coming into the land of Israel. We've been busy here as well at One Israel Fund. We finished the park in Nokdim, the accessible park in Nokdim. We opened up a new park in Ibei Nachal. These we did together with the Gush Etzion Foundation. We've got other parks just about nearing completion. We got a lot going on. Unfortunately, we are witnessing an uptick in the violence around Israel, which just emphasizes how important One Israel Fund's work in the Jewish communities of Judean Samaria is in order to keep these communities as safe as we possibly can. We're heading again into spring and then into summer. I'm planning on renewing the bus trips again. I can't wait. If you haven't been on our amazing August wine trip, you don't know what you're missing. So I hope to see you in the States. I'm going to start traveling there, but I'd much prefer to see you here. If you haven't yet gotten involved with an Israel Fund, this is a time of renewal and new beginnings. We'd love to have you join us in our incredibly important work, securing and maintaining the communities in Judean Samaria with all that is going on. Chag Pesach Kasher v'Sameach.